All right, joining me now for another edition of Coach's Corner is head coach of the NAHL Knights, and that's Tom Kowal. And Tom, sitting down here, you guys coming off an off weekend here where you didn't play games. As a coach, do you ever find that presents obviously an advantage that you get some extra rest, but any challenges ever to get the team back focused on the games ahead, or has it just been seamless so far this week?
And don't get me wrong, coming off any weekend, I mean, it's tough to get the boys going on Monday sometimes, but yeah, when you have the weekend off, or where you don't play any games, you have to scoreboard watch a little bit. Yeah, it's Monday's the toughest practice of the week probably. Getting the boys back in, making them realize vacation is over. When you're losing, you love a weekend off. When you're 5-1, you wish the scheduler would have gave us some games to keep playing. So, it's catch-22, but at the end of the day, we're where we are right now for a reason. We actually had a good practice today, and I think the boys are going to be, they're fired up to go into Philadelphia and show what we can do. Now,
you're coming back from Blaine in the week off. Obviously the focus in Blaine is a little bit different now that you return to Eastern Division play, and you're gearing up now high gear for the regular season where you're going to be playing these East teams for a good long stretch without playing anybody from outside the division for a while. Is there a different message you give to these guys, especially the new players, now that they're going to be facing some familiar teams again and again?
Well, interdivision plays where you got to be good. Yes, the games in Blaine counted, but we're not going to see those teams the rest of the year in case they make it to the Robertson Cup. But at the end of the day, you got to we got to fourth place in our division isn't a goal of ours anymore. Right. It was the first couple of years, just make playoffs, but that's not good enough anymore. We as a staff have challenged ourselves, but more importantly, challenged the players on the team that Blaine's over, the hoopla, the scouts, you've done what you can do. Now it's time to get to work and just not have to worry about Blaine and the big showcase. And, they put themselves on the map. Scouts are going to be in the building. Now it's time to perform in our division and set ourselves up, every game to loosen up that gap between third, fourth, and fifth, and ultimately get up and be in the first and second range.
Now this weekend you take on the team you're very familiar with. They do have a new location, a new venue in the Philadelphia Rebels, but you guys played them in the preseason with some of the new players on each side getting some reps against one another. But this team is 6-0. They've allowed the fewest goals in the league thus far. What is your team, what does your roster have to do to go into a hostile building and come out with 4 points?
Well, they can change the name from Aston to Philadelphia. They can do whatever they want. Joe Coombs does a very good job coaching that team, and every year they're at the top. I mean, they've represented us 2 years in a row in Robertson Cup, and if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's the motto we said today. Not getting too far ahead, but we got Philadelphia this weekend. Then we bring in the Generals, the two teams that are ultimately above us right now in the standings. And for us to move up, you got to beat the teams, that are up. And if you want to separate yourself and create a little cushion from the bottom, these are the games we got to win. If there's one team we're familiar with, it's the Rebels. Yeah. And it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. But why not? Let's go have some fun in Philadelphia this weekend. Go in there, bust up their undefeated record, and let everybody know, not only in the Eastern Division, but more importantly in the NA, that Wilkes-Barre is a different team this year.
Well, to that point, I mean, you and Coach Coombs, obviously knew each other well. Your systems have played against each other quite a lot in the last couple of years here. But with the new turnover on your roster, what areas do you feel that you've improved, going into that matchup? And obviously their roster is different as well. But what matchups are you excited to see, in terms of new players going into new positions this year against Philadelphia specifically?
Well, I think we're deeper on the forward end. It's, with our forwards, you look at our stats. This time a year ago and even 2 years ago, it wasn't our points, our scoring wasn't spread out as much. I think, the first 6 games, our newcomers have done a great job adjusting to junior hockey and kind of contributing a lot, with our veterans a little bit more. But now our veterans, I think we've put some line combinations together, but it's tough to be a forward on our team right now. Guys that are sitting in the stands are good hockey players. So, you know, we're a lot deeper at the forward end. I mean, obviously, last year we had Grant Valentine and net.
Yeah.
This year I feel we got two strong goaltenders that either one on any given night could be the man. So, you know, if we can get the defensemen to kind of do their job and play the game simple, I think ultimately, you know, we're a lot deeper team. We're going to be a tougher team to beat, you know, 3 periods, you know, 6 periods on the weekend for Philadelphia.
Right, and now this is a common, you know, place theme around the league right now. Some players coming back from the USHL. Your team is no exception. You got a little bit of a boost. You saw a couple of them in Blaine, but how much of a boost does that give you? Having some players that have made the jump up to the Tier 1 level now are back here for the Tier 2 for now. How much of a boost of a roster does a Justin Engelkis or a Christian Stove or a Luke Robinson give to your team? Just having that extra couple of guys making this roster even more competitive to make.
Anytime you can get some guys that are playing at a higher level back on your club, you know, it's, you know, one man's misfortune is another man's treasure. So, you know, obviously Justin Engelkis comes in, plays 2 games for us. Not only did he put points up, but, you know, I think he tripled Matt Kinney and Curtis Collison's points by just putting them on a line with them. So, you know, when you put some guys like that together, sometimes, you know, I've been searching as a staff to find a guy that can play with Carlson and Kinney. And, you know, right now, Justin did a great job in the 2 games he played. So, you know, sometimes one piece of the puzzle missing, you find that, and it just makes your team, and more importantly, every individual on the team a lot better. So, getting guys back from the USHL, you hit it, 1 forward, 1 defenseman, 1 goaltender. You know, so obviously it's strength all 3 of our positions right now, and we're very happy to, you know, to have those guys in the lineup, and looking forward to see what they can do this weekend in Philadelphia.
Knights will take on the Philadelphia Rebels this weekend on Friday and Saturday night. You can catch those games on HockeyTV.com. Follow WBS Knights on Twitter as well as the NAHL.com/scores for live updates on all the action. But Coach, we thank you for giving us a few minutes here, and we look forward to seeing you guys in action this weekend.
Yep, we're going to have some fun.